Most appointment setters are wasting hours a day, sending copy and paste DMs to coaches who are getting 100+ messages a day and wondering why they're not getting any replies. But what if I told you that you can attract appointment setting roles to you? Today I'm going to break down the 5 things that will have coaches reaching out to you for roles, not the other way around. And before you think, well, I need to be sending 100 cold outreaches a day, right? Let's go into why that's not the case and where your time should really be spent. So the first thing we're going to go over is optimizing your personal brand. So what I like to see as Instagram is your new CV. If you're just that average 19-year-old who goes to the pub, who goes drinking, and people can see that on your page, people are not going to want to work with you. So you need to get approval from 6 to 7 figure entrepreneurs. You need to position yourself in a presentable manner where these guys are going to want to reach out to you and wanting to take you seriously. Your Instagram needs to tell a story. So a clear bio stating what you do, where you're from. So for example, here are 2 of my students. So here's Charlie, Govin, and Sam. As you can see, like Manchester, Brighton, very clear on like where they're from. And then high ticket sales, Charlie's obviously in sales, and Sam is a dialer. So making it so presentable that when someone comes onto your page, that they already know what you're doing. It kind of beats around the bush. And then having a clear offer. So something like I make online businesses more money. So just stating what you clearly do. So when a business owner clicks on your profile, they already know, okay, this guy's an appointment setter. He's gonna book me in more calls. He's gonna help scale my business, for example. Another thing is to have clean professional photos. And this could be like gym, dinners, lifestyle. Obviously no DJ and stuff like pubs or drugs. And just having a clear profile like this, for example. So obviously in this example is me with the boys, or just having like a high-end photo with high quality. Another thing that's very, very important is having a clean profile picture. So in this case is first point of contact. A business owner is going to see that as one of the first things. So if you come up with a notification, if you follow them, if you message them, that's the first thing that they're going to see. So that's why it's going to be very presentable. So it's going to have instant reputation. It could be a make or break sometimes. And yeah, it could be a face card photo, a gym, a high-end photo. So just as this for another example. And then just some extra things to remember, such as removing tagged posts, sorting the follower account ratio to make sure that it looks like a genuine account, not a fake one or a spam account. Have public profile. If you have a private account, then genuinely no one's going to even bother looking at it. And then having clear story highlights and getting verified is quite important so people do take you a bit more seriously. Now you've got an optimal and presentable page, now it's important to actually use this correctly when connecting with other people. So this goes into the second point, where I see this as one of the most important things, which is getting yourself in the right rooms. So even if you have a good profile, there's no point if no one sees it. And what I like to see is you're only one combo away from changing your life. So that's why networking comes as a massive play into finding your first appointment setting role. So ways you can go about networking is replying to stories, commenting on posts, providing some sorts of value, joining groups where you can network with like-minded individuals, following mutuals as they're going to be connected with other people in the space, hopping on connection calls, which can look like a 30-minute Zoom call, getting to know each other, building up these connections, and having role plays where you can actually provide a lot of value to other people. So who to actually network with. So you've got setters, closers, setter managers, sales managers, recruiters, growth ops and consultants, and offer owners. So what you can gather from these people is what they all have in common is they all have connections to these high paying roles. So let me just give you a quick example. So one of my clients, George Maloney, he works with one of the biggest names in info like Habdi Abdel, who has 1.3 million followers. So you need to build connections with setter managers like George, because setter managers constantly need setters because they're always hiring new clients like Hadi who are going to need 2, 3, 4 setters, sometimes even 5+ setters. So if you're connecting with people like George, you have a much higher chance of landing big roles, as these people are going to trust you and then people are going to come to you for roles. And going on from that, the benefits of networking is you get invited to bigger rooms. You have access to top 1% offers. You get to actually learn from these top 1% people. You have opportunities to referrals and you actually become well known in the space. So you can literally go from having 0 roles to having 5 roles come to you every single week just by being in the right circle and knowing the right people. Now you've got an optimized profile and you started connecting with other people in the space. Now it's important to show that you're actually active and you can provide some sorts of value. So going into point 3 is starting to position yourself. So what I mean by this is you need to show that you're actually active. So in this case, you need to start posting content. So this can be talking head videos where you can start building instant trust and people can start resonating with you a bit more. Story posts can be proof you're actually active and switched on, that you're constantly learning. Even simple insights about what you're learning or doing and another great thing to do is actually show your wins, to show that you're constantly evolving and you can actually show some sort of social proof and credibility. So for example here, I'm using my client Morgan, is constantly sharing his wins and his stories, which other people are going to see, other coaches and consultants and managers are going to see this, and they're going to want to work with Morgan because they know that he's constantly bringing in results for other clients. And my example here is my story reel, where you can show people your story coming up, maybe documenting your journey, and people can actually know who you are as a person and they can develop more sort of trust into you. So when it comes to why you should actually post content, you get to stand out from other setters. You start attracting offers, you have social proof, you have huge amounts of trust where people are going to want to work with you. It serves future self. So if you ever want to start a business in the future, you ever want to move into another sort of avenue, then you have this amazing personal brand to use. You can also see this as accountability. So if you're posting every single day, it forces you to stay on top of your game. It forces you to not fall off, and it forces you to keep continuing and actually getting bigger results. Now you should have much more opportunities coming your way. You've got an optimized page, you're connecting with the right people, and you're also showing you're active by posting. So outreach is more of a controversial topic. However, if you're someone that's very new to the space, you maybe haven't got the connections that other people have, you haven't maybe paid for a community, this is going to be a lower barrier entry of actually landing a role. So yeah, if you're looking to make your first 500 to 1K, outreaching can definitely be the play. It's a perfect way to land your first offer. So who to outreach to? Outreach to someone who's got a solid personal brand. They've got a clear high ticket offer. They've got a direct CTA or a coaching application. They've got clear results and a testimonial. They have a good organic page. They have good engagement, and they have a good YouTube, which isn't necessary, but it's there. So for example, here you can see. So I've got a clear offer here, helping guys make 3 to 7K per month with appointment setting. I've got a direct CTA, and I've also got a YouTube linked in my bio telling people how to land a role. And I'm also posting organic content. So that's just an example of who you can look out for when outreaching to. So where to actually outreach? So you can find coaches who have an offer. You can search keywords like coach or ecom, depending on what niche you want to work on. You get to go through their followings, go through mutuals and recommended, go through ads you see, and go through the explore feed. These are great ways to actually find coaches who you can start outreaching to. And then when it comes to how to outreach, make a general Loom. So this is something I will talk about in the next stage. Mention you're a commission-based appointment setter. Don't make a message too long, because simply these coaches are too busy to read all them long messages as they get 100 plus per day. Personalize from their account, and mention what you would do and how it will save their time. And when it comes to optimizing outreach, send 100 a day, 15 an hour to make sure you don't get shadow banned, split test results, and focus on reps. So you remember, outreaching is a great way of landing a beginner role, but it isn't going to help you get to the point where you're making 5K plus with appointment sets. So now going on to the last point, this is probably one of the most important ones. It's really important that you have a strong Loom video. And there's no point having a strong page, posting, and having a strong connection if you can't present yourself in the right way when it comes to applying for roles. So when building a Loom video, here are some quick tips to make sure that people are actually going to choose you for the offer. If someone asks you for a Loom, make sure it's done in the next 10 minutes. Make sure that you're always working with speed. If you see a story post about an application, send a Loom right away. Don't message them saying, can you give me more info? Or can you tell me more about the role? Simply just send a Loom over, and that will save them time and they can go straight to your application. Make Looms personalized to them. So never send a generic Loom. Make it personalized to their name. Talk about the offer. Always talk about, for example, if you're into fitness and it's a fitness offer, mention that you're very well known in that space. Or mention that you're also in your fitness grind, for example. And make sure to always follow up, as they do test you sometimes. So what makes a good Loom? So a good Loom is having full confidence and full conviction. These are the two most important steps, because if you don't have these two, then anything you say in the Loom isn't going to be believable. So remember, these are the two most important things, especially when it comes to even having no experience. If you can master these two, you're going to be set. Mention your sales training, mention the experience you've had, even if it comes through old corporate sales or if you've done any sales in the past. Mention your specific goals. Mention your goals within the roles and mention your goals within the space. If you want to move into closing, if you want to move into management, for example, mention why you want the offer. Mention what this offer will actually help you do, and mention why you are a good fit. How are you going to sell yourself? Why are you the best fit for this role? And relate to the offer if possible, as I mentioned. For example, if it's a fitness role, mention your fitness experience as well, and end with what the next steps are. So that could be like a CTA, for example. I mentioned any risk you took to make this work. So that could have been you booking a one-way ticket. That could be you investing into yourself. That could be you leaving a 9-to-5 job. This shows a recruiter that you're willing to take risks to make things work. And mention you have full flexibility of availability. So don't mention that you're very limited with uni work or you're very limited with overtime and work, because people simply won't hire you if that's the case. So going over the 5 steps is making sure that you have an optimized personal brand. Your Instagram is the new CV in 2026. Get yourself in the right rooms. Make sure that people know you. Be well known. Be credible in the space. Start posting content to actually position yourself in the right way. Show people you are active and that you're actually building credibility for yourself. And start outreaching if you're a beginner to land that first role so you can grow experience, and then you can actually start leveraging that to get more roles. And lastly, and the most important one, is have a solid Loom video. That when you're applying roles, you're gonna smash it every single time, and that your Loom video is full of green flags. And look, this is exactly how I've helped guys like yourself constantly land roles without the need of having to cold outreach. So if you're someone that's tired of sending outreaches and you haven't got the network to actually be placed onto a role, then give me a message on Instagram and I'm happy to help.